It is the first time that I think it is the second time I would say I am speaking in front of such a mass number of people. Last time I spoke was I think about 3 4 years back in Zorba when everybody Ranjan Sangh could not come in that event. There was a customer event, so Ranjan sir was not there. So no senior person was there to give the presentation to the customer, and I voluntarily stand in front of customers. So that was the first time. So generally I am very camera shy person. So thank you, Amulya, for nominating me and pushing me for giving this opportunity. Yeah. So today I'm going to speak about Microsoft M365. So Gunjan, it is M365, not M367.
Oh, did I say
So,
M360? I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
365. Sorry.
So there's actually M365, which was originally and earlier it was known as O365, which we all know. So last year, Microsoft has changed the brand to M365. So this is actually a cloud services which is provided by Microsoft. So before going ahead with the introduction about products and features, so I would like, because now team is more than 2,500 people organization. So I know a few of the people and few of the people knows me, but I thought let me give a brief about myself. So I born and brought up in Delhi. Joined team in way back in mid 1994 as a service engineer. I used to do break fix for a hardware. So then doing that profile for about 2 years, then we moved. When our customer base grows in terms of AMC, then we divided Delhi into different zones. So I used to handle a zone called New, which is north, east, and west. So with about 7 to 10 engineers, that I did for about 2 years. Then I moved to TSD with my friend Kishan, who I'm sure must be there on this call. So I worked under him in TSD, which is more of calls which are not closed by the engineers on the field. Then that gets escalated to TSD. Then the engineer goes from there and solve the issues. Then in way back in 2000, I did CCNA, which is Cisco certification. And in that year, we became the premier partner, business partner for Cisco. Then in 2001, slowly we started formally networking SBU within Team Computers. There was no as such. We can call overall it is called Team Computers. There was no BUs within Team Computers like we have today. And then did it for about 4 to 5 years, and then I moved to uh, pure hardware sales. So because I was doing more of pre-sales in networking, so I thought of moving to sales because I like that profile a much. So since then, I have been into hardware sale in different product lines. So today we started this BU, which is M365 BU, 3 months back, and under the umbrella of ES BU. So that's about me. So let me talk about, like I said, M365 is part of cloud services for Microsoft. So ये है क्या actually? So when we say cloud services, so there are three types of cloud services which are there. So one is called SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. IaaS. So software as a service, which is M365, is a part of software as a service. Then we have platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. So I will take you through brief about this services is all about. Then I'll come specifically to M365. So when I talk about software as a service, it allows actually applications to access over the web. So that's what online access which we get from the OEM. So what is the advantage? So this is a subscription model. Customer does not have to pay upfront for any license. So he has the option of paying it monthly or yearly, depending upon what model he wants to go with. So another advantage is that we can access these application anywhere from any device. So the disadvantage is that generic application may not work on this platform. So this is about software as a service, and let me tell you, M365 is part of these services. Then we have platform as service. So platform as service, wherein a service provider gives the users to create their own web applications. Like we heard about Azure, which is from Microsoft. We heard about App Engine from Google. So there are different models which are available. So what is good about platform as service, that you have a rapid deployment of your application. And generally the disadvantage is that you get limited to that provider, whatever the services which he is giving it to you. So you limit to the resources, the features which are given by that platform as a service provider. The other thing is that you get logged into that vendor most of the time, because it is very difficult from moving from one PaaS provider to another PaaS provider. Then the last one, we into these services, we are not there as of now. We do little bit in the Azure platform, which is done by our Cloud BU. Then the last cloud services, which is there as infrastructure as a service. So we provide these services to our customers. So what it does, so whatever applications that we are running on premise, we can migrate them to the cloud on the cloud provider's hardware. So it gives you a lot of leverage in terms of the number of users that can log into that application. You don't depend much upon the hardware which is there on premise. So what is the advantage? That it is a low cost, because you don't have to buy hardware upfront. The hardware is available to you on cloud, and you just need to migrate your applications there. The other advantage is that it is rapid. You don't have to wait for a lead time of 4 to 6 weeks of hardware procurement. So it's just click a few buttons, and then the hardware is available to you. So what is the disadvantage in infrastructure as a service? So security is one which is more or less is taken care of, but still it is a concern. The other is the internet bandwidth. You need to have a good internet bandwidth to access those applications which you have ported on infrastructure as a cloud. Then there are a few regulatory compliances issue which comes in this platform. Now let me give you like we are talking about M365 as a SaaS service. So what is the difference between M365 and what we buy? Generally, we all know is that we are buying Microsoft Office licensing for our business apps like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, all that application. So what is the difference which has come up? So in software as a service, the customer has option to pay for the license on a monthly or a yearly basis, and he does not own the license for lifetime. So which is unlike in the case of perpetual. So in case of software as a service, you keep on getting upgrades which are released by the OEM during that course of time. So but unlike in case of perpetual, you are locked to one version. You are only going to get the updates in terms of the patches for that particular version. You won't get the upgrade versions which are released by the OEM during that course of time. The other is the cost part of it, because when you buy applications on cloud, so generally the cost is very, very low. So customer does not have to pay upfront, which is like in M365 case, I would say it is customer generally pays 1/3 of the cost of a perpetual license which he is buying upfront. And over and above that, customer also gets 1 TB of storage over the cloud to store his files, which is unlike in the case of Microsoft Office perpetual licenses. So now I'll come to what is M365, Microsoft 365. So Microsoft 365 is a platform to empower employees to unleash their creativity, allows them to work like a team in a secured environment. So M365 actually is a combination of O365 that we traditionally know. Then it also includes Windows 10 upgrades and the enterprise mobile security, which is called EMS in short form. So M365 is a bucket of all these applications. It is not that what we generally know is Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and then emailing. M365 is much, much beyond that. So like few of the products which I have circled, these products we know, but M365 is just not confined to these circled products. It is much more than that. So like in licensing, M365, when a customer buys, he can use those licenses in his own devices, which can be in the number of 5. It can be a combination of platforms like Android, like tablets, like iOS, Mac OS, Windows. So he can use this license in 5 different devices. So primarily, Microsoft M365 is a combination of business tools as well as the collaboration tools. I'll come to these tools one by one in my next few slides. So what is Microsoft M365? Like I saw two slides before, there are a hell lot of products which are part of this M365 portfolio. The most prominent that we all know is the Exchange Online. Exchange Online is actually an emailing messaging solution like what we use in our organization like G Suite. It is like Google G Suite. In M365, we also get OneDrive, which is like Google Drive that we get in Gmail. So what is that? So it is actually, we are getting a storage space on the cloud where we can save our files. And we can also share those files with our colleagues and external world. Then we also have SharePoint Online, which is part of the Microsoft product. M365, what it does, it helps, it is a document management tool. It helps organization create teams or communication focused sites for efficient collaboration and communication. So I can say that intranet is one example of SharePoint. Then we also have Microsoft Teams, which is the most prominent part of the M365 portfolio. So it is actually a audio video collaboration tool wherein we do audio and video calls, but it is much more than just the audio video conference. So my colleague Ravi is going to speak about this in detail in next few slides. So the other product that we have in Microsoft product line is Yammer. Yammer is like it is like Facebook Workplace that we use. We started using currently in our organization. So it is a community communication tool wherein people open to dialogues. They share their ideas. They generate ideas and connect over the company within a secured network within the organization. It is like Facebook and Workplace that we use. Then we have Kaizala. This is another application. These are not that widely used in the organization, but these some of the organization who are buying and using M365 to the best of its capabilities. So these are some of the applications which. So Kaizala is like it's like WhatsApp. So it is within the organization, and you can communicate, chat with the person who is using outside of your organization. Kaila is an application. Then we have Stream. Stream is a enterprise video services wherein it's like YouTube, wherein you can upload your videos, you can edit your videos, you can share your views about the videos. So we can use this tool for training purpose and other stuff. So so this is about Stream. Then we have another small application. which is part of M365, is Booking. So these are mainly used by small businesses, which is in the SMB market. So who are providing services to their customer on appointment basis. So this is one application that we can use for appointment base for the appointment. Then we have My Analytics. So My Analytics is actually gives you a report about your output, your productivity at work. So how you spend your time, you can visualize. It also gives you kind of suggestions in terms of how you could have used your day better in terms of your productivity. So it gives a report about what all application that you have used, how much time have you used it for. So all those analysis. So it is about my analytics, my work that I did for whatever 8 to 9 hours a day. So then we have To Do. It is a smart application, which is again smart way of doing your things during the day. Other than when there are few tasks that we calendarize in our email messaging calendar. So it is beyond that. So you can actually note all the other activities that you're supposed to do during the day. So it gives you a view about that. Then we have Power BI. This is the very powerful tool we are already using. This is again product business analytics product from Microsoft. So the counterpart for this, what we are using this product now quite comprehensively in our organization. I have seen that in these whatever stocks that we are carrying, we have report there on built on this platform. Then we have the order to cash, all that dashboards have been created on this platform, which gives you a GUI based view about whatever the business data that you have generated out of the application that we are using. So now I wanted to hand over to Ravi, who is part of my team, and he handles the pre-sales. So Ravi will talk to you about more about Microsoft Teams, so which is buzzword these days after the COVID period starting last year. So Zoom, Teams, WebEx, Google Meet. So these apps become very prominent. So I would like Ravi to give you a little bit more about this product. Ravi, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Manish sir, and very good morning to all. And Manish sir nicely explained about the M365 product. So Teams is a part of the M365 bundle. So I would like to inform you, whenever you want to use the Teams and want to buy the Teams, so you need to buy the M365, because Teams is available under the M365 umbrella. You cannot be buy Teams as a standalone product. So why Teams is required? So Microsoft Teams recently replaced the Skype for Business. So basically mostly people worked on the Skype for Business. Skype for Business is you can say it is still available, the video conferencing tool, where you can do the chat and where you can share the documents within a Skype chat. But Teams is an advanced version of the Skype, you can say, because Teams is not a video audio conferencing tool, and Teams is basically the one-stop solution where you can chat with within your organization, within your domain or outside your domain. You can do audio video calling, you can share the file, you can edit the file in real time, you can use any third party's application, you can use under this Teams all the Microsoft application. So how it will work and what are the features available? Sorry, can you move to the next slide, please? Yes. So these are the features. So I am just taking your 5 to 10 minutes to explain about the Microsoft Teams feature. So what is video conferencing? You and me and everyone knows the video conferencing. So video conferencing is we can do the web calling for single one person, or we can do the web calling in the entire team. But the difference between the G Suite or the Zoom or the WebEx, for the video calling we can create the group. So how we can create the group? Whenever we are going to create the group, we can do the video conferencing call under the group. So see, I'm giving you the example in a hangout session. Whenever we required send the invitation for the conferencing, what we need to do? We just take the group, whatever admin has been created in the G Suite portal, G Suite admin portal. But as a team member, as a person, I don't have a rights to create the group under the hangout. What we need to do, I just take the group from the outside the Zoom or hangout for others, if I have created in the mails or the any other admin portal. But in a teams, you have a rights, you have a permission, you can create your group, your sales group, your pre-sales group, your admin group, your HR group, and you can select the group and send the invitation to the group. They can join immediately on the conferencing call. Or you can do the conferencing call, the single one person who are available within a group. So these are the video conferencing options available. The second feature is the screen sharing. So screen sharing, what we can do in the conferencing call, we can share our screen. But Microsoft has recently added the feature which is you can give your desktop control to the others. Like whatever we can do with the AnyDesk or the TeamViewer, we can do in the Teams, in the live session. If currently the session is going on the team session, if Manish sir want to access my PC or my laptop, so I have a option. I can share, I can give the permission to Manish sir. They can access my PC. They can open my start, or they can use my C drive or D drive as a permission. So it is available under the screen sharing option. And the custom backgrounds, the custom background, we can customize the background, we can select the backgrounds, or we can take the any backgrounds whatever we require. And the together mode. So what is together mode? So together mode is like we can take the audience in the same page. Supposingly right now Manish sir is giving the session, and Manish sir wants to everyone seeing in the in the one conference room. So what we can do, we have an option in the Teams, we can create the virtual conference room where we can see all the people together. Together means Manish sir or speaker can see all the people can sitting in the one conference room. There is no separately person can see. So you can say, अगर मैं conference room में बैठा हूँ और वहां पे मुझे देखना virtualize के 50 लोग एक ही कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में है मेरे सामने, वो अलग अलग विंडो में मुझे नहीं दिखने चाहिए, मुझे वो एक ही रूम में दिखना चाहिए. तो वी कैन सी दैट. टुगेदर मोड आप ऑन करो, वर्चुअलाइज, वी कैन शेयर द ऑप्शन, और आप अपने आप को उस पर ज्वाइन करोगे तो सब लोग मुझे एक ही रूम में दिखेंगे. दैट इज द ब्यूटी. एंड द नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन इज द फाइल शेयरिंग. सो फाइल शेयरिंग, what are the options available for the file sharing? The first and the option is we can share the file through mails, we can share the file through WhatsApp, we can share the file through chat, we can share the file through the Google Drive or the OneDrive. But recently, if some communication is going on, or some presentation is going in, and we want to share the file immediately basis, और मुझे चाहिए कि मैं अभी मनीष सर को फाइल शेयर करूं और मनीष सर इमीडिएटली मुझे रिप्लाई करें. सो आई डोंट वांट टू गो विद द मेल्स और गूगल ड्राइव और द वन ड्राइव. व्हाट आई कैन डू इन द टीम्स, देयर इज अ ऑप्शन in the live session, we can share the file immediately, and you can edit anything over the file. The file is showing there, we can edit, we can do anything whatever we require, and we can see in the real time in the Teams. So we don't want to go in other app to sharing the file and editing the file in the real time. We can use on the Teams application. And the next option is you can see the apps and workflows. So workflows and apps, so the integration is very, very important part in the Teams apps. So if we are having any third parties application, supposingly if we are using the Darwin tool for the attendance portal, but we required some integration within our Teams with Darwin. So what we can do, we have created the user information, we have put the user information in the Darwin box, and we required this information over the Teams as well, because we need to search the employee ID or employee with the name of their email ID. So if we can integrate it, both the application in the team, so we can search out over there, we can use Darwin under the Teams application. So we need not to not need to go the other option कि मुझे Darwin में जाके वहाँ पे चेक करनी है information के लिए. I can use these application under the Teams. after doing the integration. So multiple application, third parties application supported the Teams. You can use any application under the Teams. Okay. And the next option is the market availability. When we are talking about the market availability, so in 181 markets, Teams is available, and the 53 language. Microsoft has increasing the worldwide language in the Teams, and I would like to tell you, Teams is supporting 8 Indian language as well: Gujarati, Tamil, Hindi. These languages are available. You can select your language. If you want to do anything in a Hindi language, you can select the Hindi language. If you want to do something in the Telugu language, you can use the Telugu language. And there is a options available if you want to use AI. So AI is Microsoft is also providing the AI, artificial intelligence. You can translate the communication. Supposingly, if you are talking about the US customer, you are talking about the Japanese customer, and they are typing they are chatting with you and their local language or any language. And after using this AI, you can immediately on the chat base, you can convert their you can translate their language in whatever language you required. अगर आप उसको ट्रांसलेट इंग्लिश में करना चाहते हो, इमीडिएटली वो इंग्लिश में ही आपको कम्युनिकेट होगा, आपको वो हिंदी में ही कम्युनिकेट होगा, आपको वो तेलुगु में ही कम्युनिकेट होगा. तो वो कम्युनिकेशन आपका इजीली हो जाता है सारे का सारा. And the last part is in privacy and security. You can see the Teams is the Microsoft has met all regulatory and legal and organizational compliance policies. So as per the Microsoft, Teams is a one-stop solution where you can do anything which is required in the enterprise organization or education sector or the government sector. For the teaching purpose, we have an option. We can create our assignment. We can use forms. We can create our question and answer in the real time. In commercial purpose, we can create our segment. We can use any third parties application, and we can use any Microsoft application as well. So you can move to the next slide, please. So these are the basic differences in the Zoom, Meet, and Teams. So Google Hangout, or Zoom, or the WebEx, these are the competitor. After the COVID situation, all the service provider has made the criteria to fulfill the requirement of the online classes or the communication or the collaboration, these things. So what are the differences? The major difference is the screen sharing with the control request. So you will not get the control request in the Google Hangout or the Zoom. The control request, the remotely session, you can take only over the Teams. And the second option is the scheduling the option. Scheduling option means you can check your colleagues availability. आप देख सकते हैं, जो आप ऑप्शन में जाओगे, कोई भी कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग सेंड करने के लिए, कोई भी मीटिंग सेटअप करने के लिए, यू कैन चेक कि कोई भी किसी से भी आपको मैनुअली पूछना नहीं पड़ेगा कि सर आप कल 2 बजे अवेलेबल है या आप कल 3 बजे अवेलेबल है. आपको पूछना नहीं पड़ेगा. जब आप इस ऑप्शन पे क्लिक करोगे, तो क्योंकि टीम्स कनेक्टेड है और सारे के सारे आपके डोमेन में यूजर है, तो सबके कैलेंडर वो आपको वहीं पे शो कर देगा. आप वहीं पे चेक कर सकते हैं सबकी अवेलेबिलिटी. उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आप अपना कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग रिक्वेस्ट आप भेज सकते हैं. टूगेदर मोड इज ऑल्सो अवेलेबल, इज देयर. मैंने आप एक्सप्लेन किया, जो जूम में और मीट में अवेलेबल नहीं है. इंस्टेंट फाइल शेयरिंग एंड रियल टाइम एडिटिंग. इंस्टेंट फाइल शेयरिंग हैंगआउट में है, बट यू नीड टू टेक द हेल्प फ्रॉम द गूगल ड्राइव. बट हेयर आपको वन ड्राइव की हेल्प लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. यू कैन शेयर द फाइल इमीडिएट बेसिक, क्योंकि वो फाइल आपके टीम्स में ही सेव है. टीम्स का अपना अलग स्टोरेज अकाउंट होता है. और रियल टाइम एडिटिंग आप जूम में नहीं कर सकते, आप गूगल मीट पे नहीं कर सकते, बट आप यहाँ पे कर सकते हो. यस, वर्चुअल वेटिंग रूम्स आर अवेलेबल इन दी ऑल 3 ऑप्शंस. तीनों में अवेलेबल है. लाइव कैप्शंस भी अवेलेबल है, बट इंटीग्रेशन विद द बिजनेस एप्स. सो मीट एंड जूम, गूगल मीट एंड जूम एंड वेबएक्स. So Teams is a option where you can add or use maximum third parties application in terms of the quantity. आप Meet में भी third parties application use कर सकते हो, but there is a limitations. But Teams में apart of M365 application, you can use any third parties application. So these are the Teams. Sir, thank you so much. That is from my side, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Ravi. So now I am coming to, so we all know what G Suite is all about. So let me give you a brief about M365 versus G Suite. So I'm comparing basic versions of these two, which is pure emailing. So what in G Suite we get is 30 GB of total space for mails and storage, which is Google Drive. Unlike in case of M365, I've circled the differences. So in M365, we get minimum of 1 TB of cloud storage space for storing our files. And we get 50 GB of space only for emailing, which is inbox, outbox, and all other stuff. So the other differences which are there, so these two are the major differences between G Suite and M365 in terms of storage. Then we Excel PowerPoint, which is again in both the cases it has to be online. So we can't have offline versions of these two when we want to open any Excel, Word, or PowerPoint. So these are all. That's why it is called as web online only. Both are web online only. So in Google, we say Google Docs to open a Word file. In M365, we say MS Word. So then the other difference, what we have in Microsoft over G Suite is DLP. The DLP, it protects the files and the sites as well. Unlike in which is partially available in G Suite. So this is the other difference that we have when we buy M365 and we compare it with G Suite. Then M365 बेचने के लिए हमारे पास अलग अलग प्लान्स हैं. M365 एक्चुअली 3 कैटेगरी में माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने डिवाइड किया हुआ है, एंड देन विद इन दोज कैटेगरी हमारे पास डिफरेंट प्लान्स रहते हैं. एक कैटेगरी है SMB, विच इज स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस. सो इसके लिए कुछ प्लान्स हैं. इसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट आ जाता है अपग्रेड, वो आता है M365 Enterprise, which is more focused towards the enterprise large customer. Then we have M365 for education as well. So that's a third category of M365. So within SMB और enterprise में generally क्या difference रहता है? SMB में आपके पास 300 यूजर से ऊपर कोई भी प्लान के नहीं हो सकते. यू कैन हैव 300 यूजर फॉर बेसिक, यू कैन हैव 300 फॉर बिजनेस स्टैंडर्ड, डिफरेंट, but you cannot have for one plan, you cannot have more than 300. So if you have requirement of more than 300 licenses in any of this category in this plan, then you have to move to enterprise. तो ये इसका प्लान्स रहता है SMB में. तो जो ज्यादा प्रोमिनेंट हम लोग देखते हैं, जो हमारे कस्टमर्स लेते हैं, अगर आपको सिर्फ ईमेलिंग का चाहिए तो वो जनरली दे कॉल इट M365 बिजनेस बेसिक. सो दैट्स अबाउट द ईमेलिंग पार्ट ऑफ फॉर SMB मार्केट. एंड जब कस्टमर को सिर्फ अपनी वर्ड, एक्सेल, पावर पॉइंट, ये एप्लीकेशन, बिजनेस एप्लीकेशन चाहिए, तो वो कस्टमर दे बाय app for business. This is purely consist of business application. No emailing. You only get some, not some, it's 1 TB of space on OneDrive, which is again storage over cloud. Then when you want combination of business apps और email दोनों चाहिए आपको, फिर हमारे पास plan आ जाता है which is called business standard. So ये सारी एप्लीकेशंस अगर आप देखें तो इसमें प्लान में अवेलेबल हैं, इसमें आप देखेंगे ये नहीं अवेलेबल होगा. सो दिस इज लाइक दैट. तो बिजनेस बेसिक में भी ये आपको मिलता है, बट दिस इज ओनली ऑनलाइन. यू कैन नॉट डाउनलोड एक्सेल, वर्ड एंड पावर पॉइंट on your laptop or desktop or in any platform, whether it is Windows or Mac OS. आपको ऑनलाइन रहना ही पड़ेगा अगर आपको ये फाइल्स एक्सेस करनी है आपके पास जो ईमेल में आया हुआ है. देन लाइक आई सेड, SMB के बाद जो फिर नेक्स्ट आ जाता है वो आता है एंटरप्राइज प्लान. उसमें यू गेट मच मोर फीचर्स देन व्हाट यू हैव इन SMB, बिकॉज इट इज मोर फोकस टूवर्ड्स द एंटरप्राइज मार्केट, जहां पर कस्टमर को क्या है कि उसको विंडोज भी अपना अपग्रेड करना है, उसके पास विंडोज 10 है, उसको भी वो अपग्रेड करना चाह रहा है, एंड ही वांट्स सिक्योरिटी, मोर ऑफ सिक्योरिटी फीचर्स। तो उसके लिए ये एंटरप्राइज प्लान फिट बैठता है। आपको बेसिकली सिक्योरिटी का ज्यादा फोकस रहता है, अदर देन व्हाट फीचर्स व्हाट वी हैव इन एसएमबी प्लान। तो इसमें भी आप एनीवेज, आप अगर आपको 1 TB स्टोरेज स्पेस भी कम पड़ता है, यू कैन अपग्रेड दैट बाय पेइंग एक्स्ट्रा। ऑल्सो यू हैव फ्यू ऑफ दी, मैंने इसमें मेंशन नहीं किया है, और भी कुछ जैसे EMS की उनके प्लान्स हैं, विच इज ओनली एंड ओनली फोकस्ड ऑन एंटरप्राइज मोबिलिटी एंड सिक्योरिटी। उसके भी प्लान्स हैं, वहां पर आपको सिर्फ वही सूट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा विच इज रिलेटेड टू द सिक्योरिटी एंड मोबिलिटी, विच इज मोर लाइक MDM, what we all know. So this is another, E5 is the highest level of plan which is available in M365 enterprise version. So I have not told you much about the education sector because that is not our focused market, but we have plans for education sector as well, which is schools, for universities, institutes. उनके लिए अलग प्लान है, which are definitely जो academic purpose के लिए रहते हैं, वो हमारे जो ये SMB और enterprise प्लान में उससे काफी they are cheaper, सस्ते होते हैं, और उसी मार्केट के लिए वो बनाए गए हैं, and most of them are like, they have same kind of plans what we have in enterprise and SMB. So thank you very much.